My name is Lee Kim. I have with me Mr. K.H. Ng, who is an established businessman owning a public-listed telco company, and also a family man and the vice president of Kechara House. Mr. Ng, tell me, how did you get to know about Dorje Shugden?
I was practicing the protector setup, and after my friend introduced the protector Dorje Shugden to me, I did some research and I found out that the protector Dorje Shugden and protector setup actually are from the same mandala, and I find no contradictory reasons to have any problem with it. On further research, I look into the prayers and the mantras of the protector Dorje Shugden, and I find myself very attracted to this new protector. To me, it was a new protector, and slowly I started doing the mantra, Om Benza Viki Pitana Soha, along with my setup counsel, setup prayer, and I find that actually it is actually very, very effective in the sense that I immediately have lots of clarity on the Dharma, and I was able to understand the Dharma pretty well, at least from my perspective. And I could apply the Dharma, most importantly, to my daily life. Of course, protector will give you signs by having certain obstacles manifest, but in a very strange way, bigger problems came out small, and I was able to solve it in my business and especially also in my family life. And through a period of time, there were progressions in this particular practice in terms of my problems started to clear. I realized later that these problems could have been much, much bigger. It came out much earlier, and hence it was smaller, and we were able to solve it much quicker. And in the long term, it is actually much better for my company, and also for, in the case of my family, of course for my family as well. So that is the thing that I immediately were able to be benefited from. Rather benefit from the protector practice. And I find the protector Dorje Shugden's practice is really effective as, in the sense that it is very, very quick and powerful.
From what I understand from what you shared, Dorje Shugden has helped you in terms of your family life,
yes,
as well as business.
Right.
Okay. I'm very curious because most people, businessmen like yourself, who are running big companies, successful companies, to be spiritual or to be religious in a way, it would contradict business decisions, because in the corporate world, people relate to the world, to the words of unscrupulous decisions.
Right.
And yet on spiritual side, you have the soothing, serene, peaceful. So how have you managed to balance this?
Initially, I agree with the point of view that when doing business, we have to be unscrupulous or very money-oriented, profit-oriented. After having learned the Dharma, with the conditions that were laid down by the protectors, with the clarity of the Dharma, you realize that actually there's no contradiction in both of secular life and Dharma. And especially if you go to any motivation course, any seminars on how to manage your staff, how to make money, how to manage your money, for example, and Chinese like to go to feng shui courses and all this. These are all has the same secular reasons, but we can actually use the Dharma to mitigate and to solve the secular problems. Yeah, that's where the wonder of the Dharma is. For example, in Dharma we talk about integrity. Integrity is a word that means that you do what you promise and deliver what you promise. So that is actually the same values that we are able to incorporate in our, culture, the business culture of our company, from the staff all the way to our customers.
Right.
Yeah, so if you're able to deliver what you promise, then actually this value will bring us very, very far.
And also on top of that, in every company you have human resources, and I think the element of compassion
Right.
would come into play in managing our people, right?
Yes.
Okay, earlier you had mentioned how the Dharma protector, Dorje Shugden, cleared your obstacles for your Dharma practice. Could you elaborate a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, initially, well, with families and commitments with the families, commitment with work, so of course we always give the excuse of time. Time is always not
No
available.
time,
There's no
too
time,
busy.
there's no time. But then you think that if somebody were to call me for something that I really enjoy, I will make the time, right? So it basically means that it is whether we want to do it or not. So by committing to Dharma practice, for example, I regularly come for the Protector Puja. Of course, I've been guiding the Seta Puja for a number of years as well. And some other Dharma activities, usually after work. I get objections from maybe the family, not outright objections, but there are obstacles. For example, we have other arrangements,
Other engagements,
commitments, and so on and so forth, and could be business dinners and all that. But if you put a priority to Dharma practice, things tend to get straightened out by itself, because then people know that you will not be able to, you will not be interested in going for dinners too often and all that. So basically, your focus is on the Dharma, and then we find time to read, to contemplate on the Dharma, and to practice it 24/7. And with that start, we progress towards to be able to harmonize our Dharma practice with our daily work. Even within the environment of the company.
Right, so you therefore, if I could summarize it, it would be the practice of your Dharma protector, Dorje Shugden, has enabled you that kind of clarity,
Right.
whereby you are able to integrate spiritual life, business life, family life quite smoothly with occasional obstacles.
Right.
Okay, so Mr. Ng, I know that as a businessman, the word miracle does not apply because it's hard work or nothing at all.
Right.
But could there be anything that, since Dorje Shugden has been in your life, and in hindsight now, looking at it again, is there anything that happened that you could categorize it as a miracle, help from Dorje Shugden?
I actually have two categories of miracles that I can relate. One is that a few years back, when I go for big meetings, very, very critical meetings, life and death meetings basically for business, I usually have a lot of fear. And before I go for the meeting, I'll do the mantra of Dorje Shugden. And of course, after I enter the meeting, things usually, surprisingly, I get what I wanted, and every single time, things turned out to be more than 100% better than I expected. So that to me is very miraculous, because perhaps it's in my mind, but I strongly believe the protector was there to guide me along the way. But one thing I realized is not sometimes limited to what we want the solution to be. The protector usually helps us by solving a problem in the way that is best for us. And in my case, I'm happy to say that it is actually much better than I actually envisioned the results that I wanted. And the second category was that in particularly, I have asked for example, huge, I'm talking about tens of millions of ringgit of rebates, for example, from certain organizations, and miraculously in my industry, and I think in any industry, it's a miracle that the company has gotten huge rebates that actually help the company to survive especially in the tough initial years. Without that, I think we would have, gone under already. It is a very tough industry. We will be able to get the help, and I really, really believe that it was a miracle. That there was the,
So
the help
miracles,
of the protector, yes.
can happen and do happen.
Yes, but we have to have the will, the belief, and the faith, and take action, to go forward in business, and the protector will certainly, if you have the sincerity,
Guide
he will
and
certainly,
assist.
help.
And show you the way.
Right.
Mr. Ng, you know that behind the practice of Dorje Shugden there is this controversy.
Right.
What are your views on that? How do you feel about it?
What I think about the controversy is that perhaps there is a reason behind, if I may say so, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, which I respect a lot, and he has issued this ban to benefit more than to hurt people. Of course, there are people who
The
get
ban
hurt,
is, you see the ban as it benefits more than it hurts.
Right,
How could you
because
elaborate on
I
that?
think that there are many more people who needs the Dharma, who have not known the Dharma. In the
Needing a
Dharma,
protector.
in the Dharma, maybe perhaps the perfect 18 opportune conditions did not arise for them. But with the ban, the protector practice especially, and Buddhism in particular, has spread, to become more famous. People tend to know more about Buddhism because of the protector.
Kind of like bad publicity is still publicity
Right.
kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah. So also from the personal point of view, I see for example, the iconography of the protector, the practice, the sadhanas, and the history. For example, most importantly for me is the gurus, the lineage, all enlightened beings from Dapo Rinpoche, from Pabongka Rinpoche. Of course, for our guru's lineage, hence our lineage, Zong Rinpoche is our guru. His Eminence Sam Tuku Rinpoche, they are all enlightened beings, and there can never be any mistake of a practice coming from an enlightened lineage, all the way from back to Lama Tsongkhapa and Buddha Shakyamuni. Hence, if you look at for example, the qualities of the iconography of the protector and all his emanations, it is without doubt enlightened activity. So I find that there's no problem, no contradiction. And personally, when I practice the protector, I do not find anything wrong. On the contrary, it confirms with the Dharma. If we study the qualities, the iconography of the protectors and entourage, for example, we will be able to find out that it's basically a representative of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, the 5 qualities. And it is actually from our point of view all the time, whether a practice is effective or not, we leverage on the qualities of the Buddhas. In this particular case, the Dharma protectors and entourage, we are able to benefit from it. And there is no way it can be anything bad.
So I can therefore conclude that despite the controversy, it's not going to deter you from practicing Dorje Shugden.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
It's an interesting perspective that Mr. Ng has given, because as you know, all businessmen study and analyze anything they choose to embrace, practice and apply. So that, I think, gives me information that through his research that there is nothing wrong despite what people may say. So thank you very much for what you have shared.